Hi, this is Rabbi Hadar from the Sephardic community of Miami Beach, Temple Moses. On behalf of the Federation and my community, I'm going to share with you a short but very powerful thought on this week's Torah portion, Parashat Shelach. In this week's Torah portion, we pick up at a very important part of the story of the Jews traveling in the desert. After they were liberated from Egypt and received the Torah, they continued on a journey all the way to the Promised Land, the land that we know as Israel today. And they go through the desert and they finally get there. In this week's Torah portion, they get to the land of Israel. And God says, you are there. Go forward and take the land. But the Jews at that point had another idea. The nation said, no, wait, hold on a second. We're not going to go in yet. We want to send spies. We want to see exactly what's going on in the land. Well, they sent spies in, and Moses sent the best of his people, the best leaders, knowing that it's going to be a challenge how they report what they saw. They come back and they give a bad report. They tell the people there are giants in the land. There's seemingly impossible odds to go and take over this land. We can't do it. And all the people started to cry. And Moses was devastated because he knew this was not the case. And the question becomes, what is it that got them so scared? What is it that happened? Where did their faith go? Weren't they just in Egypt? Didn't they just see all the miracles that God did? The things that were impossible? The sea split. How could they not have faith in God after everything they saw? And not just that, but the entire road in the desert was taken care of by God. Food from heaven, clothing from heaven, as it were. What was it that all of a sudden caused them to lose their faith? Giants? Other difficulties? They had the most impossible situation before, with 200 plus years of slavery. So what happened? The rabbis give this interpretation amongst others. They explain that the spies and the nation understood correctly that the miracles they had up until that point were going to change. God took care of them entirely, all the way up into the land of Israel. They understood correctly that once they got into the land of Israel, they would have to take care of themselves. But they made one crucial mistake. And that mistake was that just because they were supposed to take care of themselves, and just because there are challenges in doing that, doesn't mean that God abandoned them. It is akin to a child that grows up at home, and their parents take care of them all the years of their life until they're 18. The parent then takes them and drops them off at college. And the child is frightened. What do you mean? You're just going to drop me off? You're not going to take care of me and do everything for me the way you did? But the parents say, no, it's okay. You're going to take the next step in your life. We'll be with you, but it'll just be a little bit different. That's what happened here. The nation of Israel didn't realize that, yes, they would do for themselves in a different way than it was before. Before, God took care of everything. It's true that now they would have to work, but it didn't mean that God wasn't with them. God was still with them, but in a different way. In a way that they had to do their work, but God would be behind the scenes with them. In our lives, particularly at this time in our lives, we see giants in front of us, major challenges, things that seem impossible. And we say, how can we do it? How can we overcome? What can we do? But just know that God is always with you. And those giant obstacles, you're not alone. Yes, we have to do the hard work, but God will always be with us, support us, and stand with us, and help us get through all these incredible challenges that we face. Shabbat Shalom to everybody.